Writers, a couple of months ago, I got a list of your names. And since then, I've been researching each of you, trying to piece together some clues about the sort of person you are, so that I could plan our year together. What I've learned is that some of you, but not all, have already learned that professional writers know how to take small moments of their lives and write them not as the day I won the game stories, but instead writing about the small moments in ways that make those true stories really important. Will you give me a thumbs up if you've had a teacher, sometimes in elementary school, who tried to teach you crafting powerful true stories from small moments in your life? Great. Let me tell you something. This is going to be a big year for you. Becoming a full-fledged middle school author is serious business. But you know what? I'm not worried about you. And you know why? Because we have expertise in this room. We have people with experience writing the small amounts of their lives, and I can already sense that you will be game for helping others in this room that haven't yet tried this kind of writing. Am I right that you are all willing to help each other produce powerful true stories? The important thing for you to know is that 6th grade expectations skyrocket. I'm going to expect that of each of you, as a writer can fill a page and a half or so of your notebook every day with a true, compelling story. That's ambitious, and you're going to need help, so it is great that some of you have experience in this and can help others. Today, I want to teach you, to remind you really, that as a writer, you can get help not only from each other and from me, but also from texts that others have written. To learn from finished texts, you need to study them, imagining the strategies the writer probably used so that you can then try some of those same strategies in your own writing. Have you ever seen those really amazing wedding cakes that have tons of layers? I saw one this summer, and I found myself thinking, whoa! How did that pastry chef keep all those layers from sliding off? It'd be really crazy if right in the middle of the wedding reception, the cake started leaning over farther and farther until it collapsed all over the floor. I'm telling you this because writers study other people's finished writing in the same way that I studied that towering wedding cake. Writers think, whoa, how did somebody make this? Now I bet you're all wondering why there's a zombie on this wedding cake. The groom at this particular wedding is an actor in a TV show where he plays a zombie on a show called The Walking Dead. So they added a little zombie character to their wedding cake, which was fun. Let's start our year by studying a personal narrative that another middle school writer has made, and see if we can try to figure out the recipe for this piece of writing, the steps that the writer seems to have taken, so we can make our writing just as powerful. When I'm trying to learn from a piece of finished writing, first, I just read the writing like it's a book in a library. I enjoy it. Then I think, what did this writer do that worked? And I look more closely at the piece to try to figure this out. So let's first just read the part of A's piece. And then we'll pause and think, what works in this writing? How did she pull that off? Now, pause the video and read A's writing piece. Writers, remember that to learn from finished writing, you first must read it, which we've done. Then you think, what part worked for me in this piece? And after that, think, how did she do that? What did get to me in this piece? I like how she took this one time in the summer and wrote a whole story about it. And probably only lasted 20 minutes. This is one of those my whole summer stories. It's focused, and it makes a better detailed story. Let me reread and see if I can find specific evidence of what I mean when I say that by focusing, she was able to be more detailed. Like, for example, I shivered a little bit. I can picture that exactly. I think about what she actually did to make me picture that in that section. So I think about what kind of writing she used. What was her recipe? Writers, did you see that when I read the text, then paused to think what works, what that this writer has done? Then after, I got some start of an answer in my mind. I reread the text, looking for more evidence, specifics. I annotated the text with the things I noticed, and began collecting steps that writers can do to write similar powerful stories. Are you ready to continue reading like a writer, this time on your own? Keep in mind our recipe, how to write powerful personal narratives. Focus on one episode. Write with detail. Don't summarize an entire stretch of time. Like how in A's story, she didn't write about her whole summer, she wrote about one specific moment. Second, help readers picture the episode, a small action, and the exact dialogue. Now, let's read on. You should have your own copy of the writing piece in front of you. Remember, let's first just read it like it's a great book, taking in what she said. Then we can pause and think, what got me into this piece? What works for me? Go ahead and pause the video while you read on your own, keeping those things in mind that we talked about. Let's reread this one more time. As you listen, think about all the strategies that teachers in prior years have taught you. Maybe A has used some of those ways that really work. I also want to see you underlining and annotating the text, marking up specific things that you're reading. Use your highlighter, your pencils, markers, anything. Get those ideas down on the paper and show me what you're thinking while you read. Go ahead and pause the video while you do this. So writers, today you will start your first 6th grade writing time. In a few minutes you'll have the chance to start your own writing, but first take some time to continue reading, annotating, and learning from A's draft. When I send you off on your writing places, bring your copy of A's writing with you. You can tape it right on the inside of your page if you'd like. Notice what the writer's thinking. Again, how did she do it? Reread to study her craft. You'll learn more from this work if you do it with another person, maybe someone sitting next to you. But you can work alone if you prefer. The important thing is to read A's writing in a way that gets you ready to do your own, equally powerful piece of writing. Alright, off to Writer's Workshop!